everybody. So we're just going to continue where we left off, creating the little minion with his blue overalls, designed by Jess Davies, also known as CraftLover17 on Instagram. So I'm making the exact one. And as mentioned in part 1, these are the supplies that you're going to need to create him. For the little E-beads, just to review, you need 3 on the pocket. If you don't have, use your black bands, wrap it around your hook 4 times, and the rest is in the hair. This is just to get the hair to stand up a little bit more. If you are giving this to a small child, please don't add this on. For his goggles, you can add 1 or you can add 2. And these are from King Bob's, my video part 2 of 4. So it's up to you what you'd like to use. So I'm going to continue, and I do hope you enjoy. Now we're going to make the arms, and I'm going to show you how to do one, and then you're going to pause the video to make yourself another. So I'm going to start off with the black color, and I'm going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So you're going to take your first band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now with your hook, reach in and bring your first band through, put the other end on your hook and bring your loop over and bring it to the side. Back in for your second loop to bring through on your hook and bring your 2 loops over. And then just continue repeating. And back in. And attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook. Remove off the loom and you should have 5 stitches. Just want to move your bands around. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. For round 2, this is the pattern. You can see I have 5 sections because I have 5 chains. So we're going to add 1 band in the first chain. So that's 1 single crochet. Then you're going to do 3 increases. So 2, 2, 2, and then on your last chain you're adding 1. So at the end of this round you'll have 8 stitches. So the first chain, 1 single crochet, chain 2, increase, so 2 single crochets, back in, and again the next chain with 2, back in, and the next with 2, back in, and then the last chain where your stitch marker is 1 band. So you should have 8 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 3, we're going to add 1 band to each chain. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's 8 single crochets. At the end of round 3, you should still have 8 stitches. So I'm going to go on my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and bringing 1 band through. I know the black is hard to see, so just add 1 band in each chain until you get to the stitch marker. The next. One second. Yeah. I'm coming. There you go. Then the last chain. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4, We're going to do 8 single crochets. I've changed to yellow, and I'm only going to grab the inside loop only. So you're not going to go through the whole chain, you're just going to grab the first little loop and bring your band through. And you're going to do that to each chain around. If you can't see, just open it up and you'll be able to see them nice and clearly. Now our first band, we're going to bring through all of the loops that's going to be on our hook and do a slip stitch. So let's go on our first chain, not where it's getting pulled and grabbing the inside loop. I'm going to bring it through both of the loops that are on my hook, grab the end and slide. I'm not going to pull, just loose. And moving on to the next inside loop only, and a single crochet. And you're going to continue until you get to the stitch marker. You should have 8 stitches when you're done, but you're not going to count that little slip stitch that you started. It's a tiny little arm, so just take your time. And the last inside loop. So what I meant about earlier is if you're counting your stitches, don't count the little knot that you started. That's just a knot. Count your chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is on your hook. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band. And move it around. For rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the arm, you're going to do 8 single crochets, so adding 1 band to each chain. 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Each pile I have 8 bands. If you can see, I'm going to do round 5 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to complete the rest of the rounds. When we're done, the last band, before you're done, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed, and which I will show you an example. And then we're going to use 2 sewing bands. So we're going to attach 1 to each arm. 2 to each arm. So I'm going to get started on round 5. I'm going to go on my first chain, not the little slip knot. Not the little slip knot. You want to go on your first chain and add 1 band. And go around to each chain until you get to the stitch marker. Now you can remove your stitch marker, or you could organize your bands, or you can use more stitch markers, but you're going to need to finish the rounds. When you get to the last band, when you finish all of them, grab your last one, bring it through all of the loops and tie it off, and remove your stitch marker. And you want to add 2 sewing bands to the one arm. You're going to do this for your other arm as well. So what you need, a band to go through the center and a band to come out the side, just like this one. So put your slip knot to the side, and you want to just go through one side to the other through both of your chains. Bring your band through. Just somewhere in the middle there. Now at the sides, you're going to go through each chain on the ends here, so it's kind of even with this one. And bring your band through and do a slip knot, and these are your sewing bands. So pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Now we're going to make his legs, and I'm going to show you how to do 1, and then you're going to pause the video and make yourself another. So we're going to do 7 single crochets in the magic ring. So we're going to take our first band, and I'm using the black, and we're going to wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to bring 7 bands through, one at a time. Reach in, bring your first one through, on your hook, and you're going to bring the top loop over. Bring it to the side, go back in for your second band to bring through, on your hook, and bring the 2 loops over. Bring it to the side, and go back in and just repeat. Bring your band through, on your hook, and 2 loops over. Now attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook, and you should have 7 stitches. Move your bands around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is on your hook. Now for round 2, we're going to add 2 bands to each chain. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all the way around. At the end of round 2, you're going to have 14 stitches. So let's go on our first chain, and you're going to bring 2 bands through, one at a time. Back in that same chain to add your second band. Now the next chain with 2 bands. Back in. And you're going to repeat all the way around till you get to the stitch marker. Back in. The next chain. Back in. I have 3 more stitches left, 1, 2, and 3 more sections left. So you should have 14 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 3, this is the pattern. You're going to do 6 single crochets. So 1 band in the first 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then on your 7th chain, you're adding 2 bands. And you're going to repeat this one more time. So let's go on our first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and it's 1 band, 1 single crochet, and just repeat 5 more times. This is chain 3, chain 4, chain 5, chain 6, and chain 7, you're adding 2 bands. Back in, and you're going to repeat this one more time. Your last, where your stitch marker is, you're adding the 2 bands. So you should have 16 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4, we're going to do 16 single crochets and only grabbing the inside loop only. So don't go through the whole chain, you're just grabbing the inside loops only all the way around. So grabbing the first one, at the end of this round you should have 16 stitches. So the next inside loop only, hope you can see. The next one, all the way around until you get to the stitch marker. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 5, we're going to use 16 rubber bands, so we're going to do 16 single crochets, one band in each chain, one, all the way around. At the end of round 5, you're going to have 16 stitches. So let's go in our first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and you're going to bring one band through on your hook and slide. Now continue the next chain with one band. And you're going to go around until you get to your stitch marker. The last stitch, you want to remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 6, we're going to make this round smaller. So we're going to bring it from 16 stitches down to 14 stitches. So I have a row of 7 and a row of 9. The pattern's going to be 4 single crochets, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then your next 3 stitches you're going to stitch together. So we're going to do an invisible decrease with 3 stitches. Then we're going to do 9 single crochets, adding 1 band in the last 9 stitches. So I'm going to start off doing the 4 single crochets. Don't go where your band is being pulled. In your first chain, bringing 1 band through. Chain 2 with 1 band. Chain 3 with 1 band. And chain 4 with 1 band. Now the next 3 stitches I'm stitching together with an invisible decrease. So I'm going to do a slip stitch in each chain and then pull them together. So here's my first one. I'm going to leave it on my hook, my slip stitch. The next chain you're going to repeat a slip stitch. So I have 3 stitches now, and I'm going to do that one more time. So now I have 4 stitches. You're going to slide your last band through all, and I just did my decrease. Now I have 9 bands left, so I'm going to add a band in the last 9 stitches all the way around. The last stitch. So again, you should have 14 stitches. You want to remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 7, this is the pattern. We're going to do 3 single crochets, 1, 1, 1 in the first 3 stitches. Then we're going to do an invisible decrease. So I'm going to use an extra band. So that would be like stitching 4 and 5 together. Then I'm going to do 5 single crochets with black, and then I'm going to switch to blue with 4 single crochets. It's up to you if you want to do a slip stitch when you change the colors. I'm not going to. I'm just going to go crochet, just keep crocheting. So it's up to you. So let's go in the first 3 chains with 1 band. Now I'm going to do my invisible decrease. So I'm going to do 2 slip stitches. Here's the first one, and I'm going to keep it on my hook. The next stitch. So I have 3 stitches, and then slide. Now I'm going to do 5 single crochets with black. The next stitch. And then the last 4 stitches with blue. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oops, I dropped my stitches. And the last one where our stitch marker is. So you should have 13 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 8, we are going to do 13 single crochets and catching the inside loop only. So when we're going around, we're not going through the whole chain, we're just grabbing the first one. And we're going to do that all the way around until we get to the stitch marker. So I have 13 bands here. Let's go on our first one, not where it's getting pulled, and you're just grabbing the loop that's closest to the center. And bring your band through, on your hook and slide. The next one, open it up if you can't see. And the last one. Should have 13 stitches still. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For rounds 9 and 10, we're going to do 13 single crochets. So adding one band, one, all the way around. Each pile I have 13 bands. I'm going to do round 9 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to do round 10. I'm going to come back for the last band. So just so you know, the last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. And then we're going to add some stuffing to fill it. So let's get started with round 9. We're going to go on our first chain and bring one band through. And the next chain with one, all the way until you get to the stitch marker. You have 13 stitches. Remove your stitch marker, and you want to pause the video and complete round 10 and come back to me when you're done. So for the last band, you're just going to go in where your stitch marker is, bring your last band through all of the loops that are on your hook and tie it closed. You can remove that stitch marker and grab a little bit of stuffing. You don't need a lot. You just need to get the form of the actual foot here. So don't put too much in. And you want to do that to the other leg as well. Round 1 of the goggle, we're going to do 7 single crochets in the magic ring, and I'm using white. So take your first band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now bring 7 bands through, one at a time. So your first one, other end on your hook, your band over, bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band to bring through, on your hook, and 2 loops over. Make sure you're bringing it to the side. Go back in for your third band, other end on your hook, 2 loops over. Go back in, and you just want to continue. Go back over, and the last band, you want to attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook, and then you can remove off the loom, and you should have 7 stitches. So for round 2 of the goggle, we're going to increase on every stitch. So you're adding 2 bands, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all the way around. At the end of round 2, you're going to have 14 stitches. So going in our first chain, you're adding 2 bands, one at a time. Back in, that same stitch to add your second band. Now moving on to the next stitch, and you want to add 2 bands. Back in, and moving on to the next stitch with 2 bands. So you just want to continue until you get to the stitch marker. And the last stitch with 2 bands. So again, you should have 14 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 3, the pattern is 6 single crochets followed by an increase. So it's just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. You're going to repeat this 2 times. So let's go in our first 6 chains with 1 band. Chain 1 with 1. Chain 2 with 1. Chain 3. Chain 4. Chain 5. Chain 6. And then chain 7. So it's kind of at the top of where your stitch marker is. Chain 7, you're adding 2 bands. Back in. And now you're going to repeat the same thing, 6 single crochets, and where your stitch marker is, you're adding the 2 bands. Next, I'm changing the color to gray. So you should have 16 stitches. Remove that stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4, we're going to do 16 single crochets, grabbing the inside loop only. I just want to point out that I'm changing color to the gray, and I'm going to start off with a slip stitch. So instead of going in your chain, again, we're only grabbing that inside loop, so the first loop. You're going to bring your band through your gray color here. You're going to bring it through all of the loops that are on your hook and slide. The next inside loop with 1 band pulled through on your hook and slide. So you're just continuing all the way until you get to that stitch marker. Inside loop. And the last one. Remove your stitch marker. For round 5, our last round, continuing with the gray, we're just doing 16 single crochets, adding 1 band, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Where you start, be careful you don't go in your slip knot, go in your chain and bring your band through. Your last band, you're doing a slip knot to tie it closed, and then we're turning the goggle inside out. last band, slip knot through all of the loops, grab the end and tie it off. Now you can remove the stitch marker, you don't need it anymore on the goggle, and you want to turn it inside out. Now I'm going to hide this slip knot, and I'm just going to go through the stitches. I'm going to bring it through, just bring it through the stitches. I have something in my eye. Okay, this is awkward. I'm not stopping. This one. Okay, so this is what you should have. Now for the goggle strap, we're going to do a chain of 33. This is my 34th band, which is going to be a cap band. This band I'm going to wrap around my hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So I have it wrapped around my hook and you see 3 loops. Now what you want to do is bring 33 bands through and make a chain. So you can see this is 10, 20, 30, and 3. I'm going to do part of it with you, and then you're going to pause the video and come back to me when you're done. I don't think I need to do the whole chain. So let's try this out. We're going to bring our first band through and our cap band over. And there's our first chain. So now pause the video and you just want to continue with 23 more stitches. And come back to me when you're done. Now round 2 of the goggle strap. This is what you should have first, your chain. What I'm going to do is making sure that my chain is flat, not twisted. I want to put my hook through that cap band, those 3 little loops. And I'm going to bring my first band through and do a slip stitch. Then I'm going to do 33 more single crochets. So in this round you need a total of 34 bands. So 10, 20, 30, and 4. So let's bring our first band through, all of the loops, grab the end, and slide. Now attach your stitch marker to that band that's around your hook. Now normally we would go around this way. We are going to do the reverse stitch and go this way. So turn it around here, and we're going to go in the next stitch over. So not where your band is coming out of. That would be that one. We're going to the next one. So this one on our hook is considered our first stitch. Now you just want to go around, so I'm going through the center, and I'm going to bring my band through on my hook and slide. And then the next stitch all the way around, making sure that you're going through the center of the chains, not through the top, not through the back, through the center. And you will stop at the stitch right before your stitch marker. As you're doing this, make sure that you're not twisting it so that it's nice and flat. Excuse me while I move myself. After this, we're going to do the same thing with one more round, and then we'll tie it off. Now I'm going through the cap band here. And I'm back where I started. So I want you to remove your stitch marker and put it on the band that's around your hook. Now for round 3, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going in the same direction, reverse, around. We're not going this way, we're going this way. And we're going to put our hook through our chain and just do 34 single crochets around. Your last band, you're doing a slip knot to tie it closed. So here's where I ended, and here is my next chain right beside. So I'm going to go through and bring my band through my chain, on my hook and slide, and the next chain with one band all the way around. Now I do realize that I'm going fast, but all you're doing is just going in the next chain and bringing your band through. And I'm at the stitch marker, so bring your band through all of the loops and tie it off. Remove your stitch marker, and you can put this off to the side. So now we're going to add the eye, and the eye is your choice. Jess, when she created this, she used a 12mm safety eye. I unfortunately don't have any, so I'm gonna work with what I have. I have some Google eyes, I have a pony bead. This is bigger than a 7, I'm thinking it's a 9mm pony bead. And I have some googly eyes. I even have a little button here, this round little ball that I found. So whatever you can find. I also just made a magic ring with 5 stitches here of the black, which I'm going to show you to do this just in case you don't have anything else. So I'm going to take this apart, and this is really simple. You're just going to do a magic ring with 5 stitches, and I don't think that I need to show you how to do that one, but what I am going to do is just take this apart right here and undo my slip knot and undo this one and put this back on my hook. So I made a magic ring with 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to close this off by going in the next stitch with a single black band. I'm pretty sure that this was simple enough to do. So I'm going to bring it through and on my hook and slide. And then close this off here. And I'm just going to hide this little slip knot by going through one of the stitches here and bringing this towards the back. Now I'm going to bring a white band through 2 of these stitches in the back. I can hide this after going out in the back of the goggle. So from either end, making sure that it's even, I'm probably going to go from here to here. I'm going to bring a white band through the stitches at the back. I'm just going to put in the center here and release. Now I'm going to bring this other end through another stitch on the opposite side. So over here. And this is the band that I'm going to use to pull through the back of the goggle. If you're using a safety eye, I cut 2 little holes and put a band through, and I used dental floss to bring it through. It's up to you. I think I'm going to be going with the Google eye. And I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to bring the white bands through to the other side, on either side of our magic circle. So going through here, bringing it through, and then finding the other end of the white to bring through. So I have both ends of that white through, and I'm going to find the other end, and I'm going to do a slip knot with another band. Now I just thought it would be a little bit different to bring, let's bring this black band to the back first. Going from the center and hiding that band. Now I'm going to bring this white band through the center of the eye and have it sticking out just a little bit. Something a little bit different. And then you can just fix that up. That's sticking out a little bit too much, so I'm just going to bring it back. At the end of the day, however you do it, it's yours. Something a little bit different, and you can just kind of fold the magic ring and there's the eye. But I will be attaching my googly eye, my wiggly eye, so I'll be using that. So get your eye ready and attach it. I'm just going to stick this in there, grabbing both of the blacks ends and the opposite side. Bring it to the back, and I'm going to use another band to tie it closed. And there's the eye. Now to attach this, the goggle part to the strap. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm going to bring my little slip knot through, and I'm going to do two little slip knots on either side. I'm using the part where we started and stopped on the strap part, and I'm just going to go through the strap, grab one of the stitches on the goggle. Don't go through the whole goggle because then you're going to see it on the other side. So I'm just going to grab two of the stitches. You don't want to see your stitch through. And I'm going to bring my band through and do a slip knot. And I'm going to do this on either side. But I don't want to go over, so I'm just going to go right beside where I came out and grab the other end and bring it through. And slip knot. And we're going to do this one more time on the other side. So go through, grab one of the little stitches, bring your band through, and you can go right beside it in another hole, grab the other end, and do a slip knot, and it's attached. And you can just fix it up. Hide the little slip knots in the back.